All right, let's move on to Argentina versus England. This is the all-inclusive briefing package on these two teams. So, Mrs. Producer, if you could put up the England graphic of how they fared in the last World Cup, I'm going to tell you guys how these teams have, what they individually look like, and then I'll be comparing the matchup. So, England in the last 4 World Cups has been like a roller coaster. In 2010, they get to the round of 16. In 2014, they get to the group stage. In 2018, they get to the semis. They look like it might come home. They lose to Croatia in extra time, and then they ultimately lose to Belgium in the third place playoff game. And then in 2022 in Qatar, they lose to France in the quarterfinals in a narrow defeat. Now, interestingly enough for England is we always hear like it's coming home. And you would think that that's like the Brazil rallying cry, who's won a bunch of World Cups, or the Argentinians rallying cry because they've won 3 World Cups. England has won 1 World Cup, and it was 60 years ago. So they've been saying it's coming home for 60 years. And that's what's on the line for this team, is that the expectation for this England team every single World Cup is that they're winning the World Cup. And this is probably the closest that they've gotten this century with the team that they have, with the coach that they have, to finally getting across the finish line. So how have they actually looked in the World Cup? Mrs. Producer, if you can put up the statistical graphic of England, this is where they rank statistically across some of these key metrics. So they're actually first in big chances created with 23. I thought this was super interesting. They're first in headed attempts toward goal. So the way I'm interpreting that is it's just Mr. Harry Kane, when the ball is getting crossed in, is just putting the ball on frame. They are dangerous offset pieces. They are dangerous when the ball is getting crossed into the box. They are overall 4th in goals scored. They're 4th in set pieces and corners. They're 5th in total distance covered. And interestingly enough, this isn't a team that needs to have the ball. They're 12th in possession with just over 50%. They're at 52% as their average possession in these games. So England, to sum it up maybe in a sentence, they have a very prolific offense spearheaded by Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, who have scored 12 out of their 13 goals. This is an offense that runs through these two guys. And when it's humming, they create big chances, whether it's on the air, whether it's in transition. And again, they don't need the ball to do it. They can hit you on the counter. They can do it in a split second like they did against Mexico, where they scored 2 goals in the span of 3 minutes. So that is England individually. Now, Mrs. Producer, throw up the Argentina graphic of how they've historically fared across these last 4 World Cups. Argentina's performed pretty well across the last 4 World Cups. They've been to a quarterfinals. They were runner-ups in 2014, famously against Germany. They got knocked out in the round of 16 to actually France, which was kind of like Mbappe's, I've arrived party, if you guys remember that game. He draws the PK. I can't remember who fouled him, but draws PK that puts them ahead. And then they obviously win against France in 2022. So this has been a nation where the standard is World Cups. And the standard for if you are going to be remembered as one of the Argentine greats, you need to win a World Cup. And that's why for a decade, Messi was not considered in the nation of Argentina to be more than El Diez, Maradona. But now the El Diez is Lionel Messi after his recent win in 2022. So what's on the line for this Argentina team? It's that they could become the first back-to-back champion since 1962 when Brazil did it. So that is what's on the line for this Argentina team. They could do something that hasn't been done before in 64 years with the GOAT. I can't even say cementing his GOAT status because he's already done that, but just putting another nail in the coffin here. So that's historically what's on the line here. Now, Mrs. Producer, if you can put how Argentina has performed in this last World Cup. Interestingly, and I know Foss mentioned this, they have had an easier path. And I said this earlier in the show, like it seems like every single game is like Argentina is going to score 3 goals, they're going to concede a lot, and you're going to be on the edge of your seat. And that's just another day in the office for Argentina team. So they're first in goals scored. They've scored 3 goals a game in the knockout stages. They're first actually in passing accuracy, so they do try to possess. They're 6th overall in possession, averaging about 55%. Um, but I thought this was interesting. They are 3rd out of 48 teams in ball recovery time. And you kind of see it. Like, their counter press is very good. When they lose the ball, they are sprinting to try to get the ball back as quickly as they can. And they get it back usually in about 92 seconds. So this Argentina team they're going to try to possess the ball, but they are able to hit you on the counter like they did against they did it against Egypt. They did it against obviously the 3rd goal against Switzerland. They're going to try to possess the ball, but they are leaky at the back. They've conceded, I think it's 5 goals across the last 3 games. And so if we could go to historically now how these two teams match up, I think you're going to see that this is a blockbuster marquee matchup of superpowers. The historical matchup between England and Argentina, England has the edge. I think they've won 3, Argentina has won 2. The most recent World Cup face-off that they had was in 2002. England beat Argentina in the group stage. But this matchup has been riddled with controversy, famously fueled by the Falkland Island War in 1982. These two nations fought over a plot of land just off the coast of Argentina, and that has added fuel to the fire of these two marquee matchups. So when these two superpowers are kind of in their heyday, there's this geopolitical battle, and that has kind of set this I would say a chip on the shoulder of a lot of Argentinians. Like, they still chant in their chants, but that they chant in the stadium, they still talk about the Falkland Island controversy. They still say that it matters to them. So not only do you have 2 superpowers coming together here who are pretty evenly matched, England has the edge 3-2, but you have a geopolitical layer to this. And so I think we're in for a treat. I really do. I think there's going to be a lot of goals scored. Like, these two teams are not amazing defensively. Like, Argentina's conceded a lot of goals. England can look vulnerable at times. They conceded 2 against Mexico. They conceded 1 against Norway, maybe even 2 against Norway. 1 got called back. And so I think that this will be a blockbuster game. I think England wins 3-2, but I think it's a very exciting offensive game. And before I open it up to you guys, I do want to just point out a secret weapon for both of these teams, because you have the obvious star players of Messi for Argentina and Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham for England. But I think there are 2 guys, one on each team, who, if their team's going to win, these 2 guys need to step up. So, Mr. Producer, if we could throw up that graphic. This is my secret weapon for both teams. On the Argentine side, it's Julian Alvarez. He's had a very quiet tournament, even though the expectations for him are that he should be carrying the goal-scoring load with Messi and at times for Messi. Alvarez is always going to give you an insane work rate. He's always going to press. He's always going to be excellent defensively. But up to last night, he hasn't had the production that a lot of Argentinians expected. But now that he scored that epic goal, he is, I think, the secret weapon for this Argentina team, where if he's clinical and he can put away chances, that could be the edge for Argentina. And now on the England side, I want to talk about a guy that I've actually been pretty critical of, which is Gordon. I didn't think that he should have been starting after the second group stage game for England, but he's proved me wrong. He is the fastest player in this tournament. He is on 3 assists in the last 3 games for England. I think he's looked very dangerous in key moments in the Mexico game, having the 2 assists to, or no, no, he didn't have 2, maybe it was 1 assist in the Mexico game, but he had the first assist against Norway. So he has just looked very dangerous in these knockout stage games for England. And I think if England's going to win, part of the reason will be Gordon lighting up the left side against Nahuel Molina, Anthony Gordon, the legend. All right, so that's my little briefing on Argentina and England. What's your official prediction and reaction to that England Argentina matchup?
Look, I'm excited for this game. I also think this is kind of this side of the bracket was interesting. So this semifinal matchup is also the first time that uh, a team has made it to the semifinals without having to play a top 10 team en route to the semifinals, and that's true for both teams.
Wow.
So I like a historically easy path for both teams,
Wow, that's
but
wild.
the easy path ends here, obviously. Look, I think England's gonna win as well, just because I think that Argentina is gonna concede, and I think if there's one thing that England has proven, it's that when they're up a goal and they sub on Big Dan Burns, they're
Gosh.
they're they're
Dude,
really score on. And
you
so,
said the Allen Iverson over them, stepping over. I
yeah, he
saw
saw
stepped
that.
that.
over and they stepped back over. Uh,
Double I, AI.
yeah, and I think for that reason, like, Argentina is just gonna get scored on, and it's tough. I'll be pulling for Argentina, but I think England's taking this, and I just don't see another way around it. Like Messi can do everything that he can do, but I just think that I think England is going to score, and then they're just sound defensively when they're hanging on to a lead.
That's
Yeah.
a great point, Foss. And before I say one thing, Mrs. Producer just sent a cool fun fact. The 1966 game between England and Argentina was so intense that that's the match that sparked FIFA creating yellow and red cards. And after that, Argentines were called animals by some of the press.
That is a
So
very fun
very
fact.
interesting. And Foss, to your point, just on England real fast, you were a guy who has been skeptical of England, but you acknowledged the brilliance of Thomas Tuchel. And I think that has been on full display. Tuchel has been validated across the board with his decisions. Like when Dan Burns was brought to the World Cup, there was that meme that went around, which was like, Tuchel, what are you expecting? That you're going to have to clear crosses for 35 minutes? And then, and then it's like the next meme is like that. And then it's like the Mexico game where that's exactly what he's doing. And so it's a really Tuchel, if there's a way to exploit an opponent tactically, Tuchel will find it. And this Argentina team looks incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think if you look at the two differences between like the biggest difference between what Southgate did and what now Tuchel is doing, it's not really tactically, it's in the substitutions and how he manages the second half of games. Anyway, Bets, go ahead.
yeah, just another fun fact that it's the ending of this World Cup is going to be cinema. This is the first time since the creation of the World Cup and FIFA that the top four ranked FIFA countries or nations are the four teams left for World Cup. So this side of the bracket for me, it's just I'm gonna my popcorn. Just watch. I got no skin in the game. Don't care who wins. Just happy to watch it. But my opinion will be that Argentina comes out on top. I think that they have one person on the field who is not from planet Earth, and I think that he will be the difference maker. He was a bit quiet in the Switzerland game. I think he's going to come out flying. He's 38. He looks 25. Yeah, I think he will be the difference maker. And I think that Argentina comes out on top, but I could see it being a thriller 3-2, 4-3 even of a game. But Argentina takes this one for me. And the
Wow.
main reason is because they have Lionel Messi.
It's Bets, I hope you're right. I mean, look, I got the Messi jersey behind me, half Argentine. I want with everything in my being that I want to believe that Argentina can win, but I'm scared by Tuchel. I'm scared at how good Bellingham looks. I'm scared by how good Kane looks. So, but if there's any person to overcome those odds, I mean, it's Lionel Messi, and he has done that in this knockouts in this tournament.
Yeah.
He's just
And
just when you think they're out, he somehow orchestrates a comeback,
yeah.
another masterclass.
And I'll also bring it back to one of the most fascinating facts that I found out on Do It Well, which I'm not sure who said it, but there has only been the winners of the World Cup from the same, like the managers have been the same. What nationality? Excuse me, nationality of the winning team. And I think that's also a huge part of it. Do the players on England truly love Tuchel? Did you see the post-game interview with Bellingham where they
Great
were
point.
like, when they were like, oh, like the manager, the gaffer just said he's very disappointed with, the performance. And Bellingham was like, oh, I don't care. Like, just, have great, like, trust me, dude. I know what that means. That means that I don't know if they're all bought in on Tuchel.
Dude, Bellingham said, I don't think he knows what it's like to play in those conditions. I was like,
he said, yeah, like that's like one of the toxic. So I mean, it could be there's a the edge could be the manager.
It's a great point.
And I could see that being a big thing as well. But it's going to be a crazy game, incredible, and I can't wait to watch it.
But it's going to be the last time that we see Lionel. If they lose, if Argentina loses, it most likely will be the last time we see the GOAT put on those classic blue and white pinstripe jerseys ever again. And for me, like growing up and seeing so many special moments, I am just mentally prepared. I want to be enchanted one more time. I want to be spellbound by the magic of Messi just one more time. And I keep saying that. I keep saying just one more. And he keeps delivering it. But just one more. That would be incredible.
Yeah. I mean, they've been saying that it's his last since 2018, so don't put it past him.
Yeah.
But I do know, I hope to see something special. I really do.
Yeah.
But England's been incredible. Like the fans, the camaraderie of the chants and like the relationship they have with their team. It's awesome. And I've loved it even since like the Mexico game in Azteca. It's just like unlike any other fan base for a national team that I can see. Argentina's pretty crazy as well, but they're more like rowdy and the chants are just like crazy. They just love this team so much. So if either team wins, I'll be happy.
I don't think this is the best Argentina team that I've seen in the last 25 years, but I think it's the best England team I've seen in the last 25 years. And that's why I'm predicting an England win. But again, the players that are here, like we saw Julian Alvarez create a goal out of nothing. And so that's why there is this like space for the unpredictable. Like, is it possible Messi just bangs one in, that Alvarez bangs one in, and it's like, Argentina pulls out a 3-2 victory? Of course it's possible. But, this Argentina team, like their true best team was 2022. And it feels to me like this England team is the best coached and is the most cohesive unit that I've seen. And so it just, I think that's kind of the difference that I see. I think England will win and maybe should win. But again, Argentina has the quality where they could surprise you.